It takes energy. It also takes grit, determination, and discipline. Mm-hmm. And one of the main things about Kundalini Yoga is you begin a sadhana. Sadhana is your discipline. It's your practice. And we do that for ourselves. You know, you might be told, do this, do that, do this, but why are you doing it? Why am I meditating? Why do I want to do that? What am I getting from it?
Intention.
You know, it's for me, not anybody else. And when I don't do it, I'm the only one that I'm hurting.
Right.
And I have so many students say to me, well, I can't meditate because I can't still my mind. And Yogi Bhajan, you know, who brought Kundalini Yoga here, he says, meditating is like taking a daily shower. It's taking out the trash. Okay, you wash your body. Why don't we wash our minds?
That's right.
And it's not that your mind is going to be clear, because it's not. What will happen is things will rise. You'll remember things. Oh my God, I forgot to do this, and but if you don't write it down when you're meditating, your chances are we'll forget it by the time you're done. But it's that important. You'll notice. I'll share some with you. I did a 90-day meditation that was extremely complicated. It had 8 different hand positions, and it had 8 different lines. It was called Rake Rakanahar, and it's one of the Aquarian sadhana mantras that you do every morning in Kundalini Yoga. Rake Rakanahara Apubhariyan. That's the first line. I'm not going to go into the whole thing. But I could sit there and chant the entire mantra, move my mudra, and still be doing my entire shopping list on the other side of my head. It's like you can compartmentalize your brain.
Oh, interesting.
And the more you meditate, the more you realize, it is eventually about stilling the mind, but the mind doesn't still. We have the monkey mind. It doesn't still. So it's a matter of calming the mind and trying to settle out that clutter that is in there. And it is hard. But how hard is it to find 3 minutes a day?
That's right.
3 minutes, right?
Yeah, like your drive home, whatever, as you get home and sit in the parking lot.
I always say sit in the potty, You just sit there and get your meditation done.
Is that what my husband does every night?
They always read the newspaper. You might as well meditate.
We don't have the newspaper. No, it's great. It's good for your body. It's good for your spirit. It's good for your mind, all the way around. It changes up things internally, chemistry within your body, and everything actually starts to change once you start to practice and do your meditations.
And what's interesting is you brought up Reiki. I'm also a Reiki master, okay, and I do quantum touch. But when
I forgot.
When I play the gong, I really am healing. I am doing my Reiki through the gong. Things come up when I'm doing these gong relaxations. I do them all over in the Crystal Lake area. I mean, I guess I never finished about what I do, but basically I've taught in numerous yoga studios all around McHenry County. I've gone from one to another. And I've been at Crystal Lake Park District now for almost 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Love the place. Great place to work. West Beach, where I teach my classes, is right on Crystal Lake. So you've got these beautiful windows and you're looking out at the lake.
Nice.
It's the best thing you can get in comparison to the Caribbean, right? This is the Midwest Caribbean here at West Beach.
That's right.
And I teach both regular yoga. I still teach hatha and alignment-based yoga. Some of the classes are gentle because I feel like people need that. People push themselves so hard and they just need time to get together with community, like-minded people, and relax and learn how to deal with stress and tolerate everything that's going on in life, because life is just spinning out of control and people can't keep up with it. So my classes have a tendency to be, I will give people what they need, but what I'm sensing for the student base that comes to my classes, they need more relaxation. Yeah. They need to understand what they're feeling, why they're feeling it, and be able to work through that. And so I'm going to be teaching. I have a high school class this year coming up. I have a meditation class. I have regular yoga classes, and I have my Kundalini class. And then I do the yoga, I teach Kundalini yoga and gong events all over. I'll go pretty much anywhere relatively close by that I can drive to within an hour.
You teach the gong?
It's funny you say that. People keep asking me if I'm going to teach the gong. I haven't decided yet. I think that's the next thing, because people want to learn it, but then people need to have a gong to do it on.
That's true.
And gongs are pretty expensive. So, but it keeps coming up, and people keep saying, if you taught that class, I would take it. So it's on my radar. Aww. Just like that's how I made my gong CD. Everybody's like, after the classes, they'd say, well, do you have a CD? And I'm like, no, I really should do that. And I'm like, and then, how many times, they say you have to hear it 3 times before you actually listen to it.
Yeah.
Well, I went to something, there's a really wonderful woman named Nikki who does something called Spirit Gallery.
Oh, Nikki's coming on in October, I believe.
She's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I went to one of Nikki's Spirit Galleries, and there was another woman in the room with me. And she was talking that, I guess her mother had passed, and her mother was saying, you need to make a CD. So at the end of the class, I went up to her and I said, that's really funny, because I've been talking about wanting to make a CD. And she's like, oh, I have a recording studio.
I'll be.
And I'm like, really? And so because I went to Nikki's Spirit Gallery, spoke to the woman after class, my gong CD formed.
Spirit guides you, though.
Spirit guides you.
Yeah.
And
It's
that
a beautiful thing.
you just have to trust and you have to listen and you can't be shy. You have to know when to go out and ask for something. I mean, I've taught at Bhakti Fest Midwest 3 years. I'm going to be teaching there again this year. And people say, how did you get there? Well, I wrote articles for Yoga Chicago. And I reviewed Midwest Yoga Conference. I'd been to all of their conferences when they were here. They were here for 10 different years. I went to Ann Arbor to them. And I wrote Bhakti Fest's review in Yoga Chicago. And I just reached out to Bhakti Fest and said, I'd love to teach Kundalini. You have no Kundalini on your program. And that's how I got it.
All you got to do is ask. The worst they can say is no.
That's right. But so many of us are afraid to ask.
Right.
This is true.
Well, there's a creed that I live by, and it was by Eleanor Roosevelt. She says, do something every day that scares you.
I love that.
And I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. Don't, you're stopping yourself. The world doesn't stop you. You stop you.
And life gets kind of boring if you don't challenge yourself.
Indeed
I mean,
you
you
do.
could continue doing the same thing over and over again, and it might be kind of nice, but I like adventure.
Yeah.
Know?
Well, life becomes mundane after a while when you live that way, and if you like a little bit extra, I like a lot extra. So I don't want to sit around and let life happen to me.
No.
And I recommend that everybody else not sit around and let life happen to them either.
Well.
If there's something that you're interested in, friends, do it. We've only got one chance.
Well, I love traveling. You would say, what do you love first? I love yoga. In terms of my hobbies, not my family. Of course, family comes
Right.
first. But yoga is my first passion, and the gong. I put the two together, and then travel is my second. And so I'm going to be combining the two. I'm putting myself out there, and I'm doing a yoga retreat. And it's something I've always wanted to do, and I always said I'm going to wait until my kids get older, but something fell into my lap, and I'm able to do a yoga retreat close to home. So I'm going to be doing a yoga retreat up in Wisconsin in Lake Geneva on President's Day weekend. So
Very
for
cool.
all of you listeners out there that would like to try Kundalini Yoga in a setting, it's luxurious. You've got jacuzzi tubs and swimming pool and sauna, and all the meals are included, and it's right on Lake Geneva at the Heartland Spa. You get a free massage treatment. And really dive in. The class it's self-love and self-discovery, and it's on Valentine's Day weekend.
Well, self-discovery and self-love. I like that.
And it's going to be Kundalini Yoga, meditation, breath work. We're going to be doing mandala, gong treatments. I think we're going to be doing some Reiki.
Nice.
So-
Well, we can give out your information there at the very end of the show, so everybody will know how to get in contact with you then.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, very good. I mean, very good. Now, you have been doing this for 25 years now. What really has kept you motivated within it? Is it just you? Or is it a pushing force outside, or is it all the above? Because a lot of the times people don't seem to understand that there are other forces in our worlds that are taking us places that we need to possibly be for lessons or journey or whatever.
See, yoga to me is actually a way of life. People say, I do yoga. You don't do yoga. You practice yoga.
That's right.
And life is like a give and take. It's a flow. And there's good times and there's bad times, right? We all have those challenging times in our life that you have to get through. Yoga is what sustains me in those times. And I view yoga practice as a metaphor. I was telling you before the show about a meditation that I did for 90 days. It was called The Flow of Life. And you have your arm parallel to the floor out from your shoulder for 11 minutes while you breathe with the other arm, moving it from a right goalpost position. 11 minutes of that, and your arm starts burning, and all you want to do is drop the arm.
Yes, ma'am.
And the name of the meditation is Flow of Life. And So what happened is I always set my alarm for 9:30 every night just in case, so I don't break the meditation, because if you break it, you have to start again. And so I was teaching a gong event at Evolve in downtown Crystal Lake, and I shut my alarm off instead of hit pause, and I forgot, and I didn't realize it until I woke up the next morning and said, oh, I forgot my meditation, and I was at day 45 out of 90 and needed to start over again.
Ouch.
And it was interesting because I remember thinking, that really isn't good, but I wasn't that upset. And what I realized was I didn't get what I was supposed to get from it out of the first 45 days.
Ma'am.
A couple of things came to me. It was like, well, first of all, I looked at the sheet of paper and I looked at the date that Yogi Bhajan taught it, because that was listed on there. And the date was my girlfriend's birthday, February 22nd. She was my college roommate, and she passed away a couple of years ago of ovarian cancer. And I think it was important that I saw that, and I didn't notice it for the first 45 days. And it's that knowing that, you know what, I'm here, and you have to appreciate every moment, no matter how good or how bad. I am here, I am living, I am existing. And
It's a gift.
just seeing that date changed. And the other thing I realized is I wasn't putting into it what I was supposed to. I was kind of being a little lazy. Oh, I'm a little tired today. I'll let my arm go down. And at that point, I vouched, I'm not going to drop my arm. I'm not going to take any rests for the 90 days. I'm going to pull my full effort into it. Because what it teaches you, metaphor for life, what it teaches you, if you can keep your arm up in a position and find peace and find ease, even though it's challenging, then when you find in life that you're in a challenging position, you'll be able to meet that challenge with that same peace and same ease that you have learned about in your meditation. And it was such a profound lesson to me. And what was even more of an interesting lesson was day 90 came. And it was like, I'm done. I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop. I'm like, I'm not ready to give it up yet, even though I finished my requirement for my teacher training. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep it going. But I cut the time to 3 minutes, and I'm still doing it. And I made the determination, like I keep saying, well, when am I going to stop? Because I'd like to move on to new meditations, I mean, not like I'm not, but I'd like to pick up a new sadhana, a new discipline. And so I decided tomorrow I'm heading out to Satnam Fest East. It's Yogi Bhajan's birthday. He's no longer with us on this plane. And I decided tomorrow's going to be my last day. I'm going to end on Yogi Bhajan's birthday. I made the determination. And then I'm going to be at Satnam Fest and doing tons of different meditations.
You'll get a new one.
And then when I'm assuming one will speak to me, and I will pick it up when I come back.
That's right.
But that's where discipline comes in, and that's where it's for you. Nobody's telling me what to do. This is what I want to do, and it comes from, you were asking, where does it come from? Where does it comes from inside. Because everything that you need and that you want to know about life is inside. It's just remembering it. It's like tapping into that resource, that knowledge that lies within us. And we're so busy in life that we never sit still to take the time to know what it's like, to know what's going on inside of you.
Yeah.
And when you quiet yourself every day, even in the midst of all that chaos, you can find that little bit of peace.
That's right. Reconnecting to your own energy. We are all this universe. Everything is energy. This table. I mean, my voice coming at you. It's all the same.
Vibration.
That's right.
And that's the gong.
That's right. Absolutely.
People come to sit to feel the vibration move through them and relax them. And when they leave the gong classes, they feel different. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they'll feel more relaxed, and sometimes they'll feel more energized. It depends on what it is that they need.
That's right.
If you come in and you're totally spent, and then I relax you, you might be even more drained. So it's kind of like most of the time, if you're really spent, you'll have that, it'll give you that bit of vitality that you need to take with you. But other times you just need to, your body's on supercharge, and you need to be able to unwind. And the gong really drives deep and gets in and breaks up like blockages and things and stored energy that you're holding that aren't working for you the way they should be.
Right.
And I know that because when I play the gong, I can feel things. Let's say I was doing a gong session with you right now. I might sit here and start playing and say, okay, I'm going to be doing it for you, Jessica. And it's like, oh, I'm feeling pain in my left trapezius kind of up around my neck. It feels really, really tight right now. And so because of that, I'm feeling like it's radiating down my left shoulder blade. And so